What's up? So, today we are going to be using the Stormblade. The Stormblade is a relatively simple melee. It's pretty common too. It's a base game melee, so it's pretty easy to, find a way to access it. And I'm going to be running a budget version of this weapon. So I'm going to be running a powerful 77 Stormblade, so tier 3. And not all of the perks are maxed out. We're going to be running that for a solo 160. So let's get straight into the perks. I am running attack speed on this weapon. It's a melee. Attack speed is really good. Armor is also really good. Of course we're running energy, of course, and critical rating. For this perk, I kinda didn't really know what to run. So I just decided to run damage to mist monsters. I guess if you have someone spamming straps on their team, you could run either one of those perks. And then this is where things get pretty interesting, because landing critical hits causes an explosion that does 43 base damage. If you do not know how base damage works, basically it takes pretty much the total amount of ability damage in your hero loadout that you're using and converts that into damage. So I can run a really low powerful melee like this and still hit a lot of damage because of how base damage works. But with that being said, let's get straight into the loadout. And this will be the loadout that we are using. We're just using a standard Paleo Luna build. This is probably one of the simplest and easiest Paleo Luna builds, I'll be honest with you, in the game. So obviously we're running Paleo Luna in lead. Blast from the Past to activate Paleo Luna as our team perk. Those two perks are great for just survivability. We're running Fumble for one main reason. We're going to be playing a Repair to Shelter, and this perk is really good actually too. Besides the fact that we're playing Repair to Shelter, being able to just kill a husk and just instantly get Rock and Rift for extra damage and attack speed is very good. And because we're using melee, we're most likely going to be picking up those low consumables pretty frequently, just by accident, so really nice hero to have. We're also running Survivalist, pretty straightforward, And we're running Dennis for the exact same reason, but it's for health instead of damage, so he's actually pretty underrated. I 100% suggest checking him out. And just a quick thing that I would like to mention, this is not my loadout. I got this loadout from Lyrix X. I'll put a link to his video in the description. I think it's only fair that I do mention, you know, that because, you know, he's the one that made the build. I'm the one that stole it, so should probably at least give him a little bit of credit, you know, because this is his loadout. And the gadgets also don't really matter. We'll also be doing this repair the shelter. Health burst doesn't really do much because it's repair, but the triple slowing with the ice, the slowing attacks, and the slow pulls for melee, that's kind of hurt a little bit, I'll be honest with you. But other than that, I don't think it should be too hard. But with that being said, let's hop straight into the mission. So I'm just going to do a simple and quick build. This build, honestly, you can just use if you're playing co-op. And I imagine, you know, it'll be fine when they do fix the power level bug that's going on with 160s. Could have also used this build too during the, you know, when 160s were actually hard. But it's a pretty simple build, you know. I like doing this double ceiling strategy. Very simple and easy to do. It just gives you a little bit of extra stalling time against flingers if you do struggle. So basically I'm just kind of building a secondary ceiling, putting in fences, and I'm just going to be spamming some defenders just to get rid of those flingers. The flinger wave, in my personal opinion, is easily the hardest for repair, no matter what. Like, I just honestly find it to be the hardest one. So we're going to be just spamming a bunch of defenders with bundle buses, because I find that's the most high damage weapon that you could run for just overall general damage. So we're going to be just kind of spamming a bunch of that, and I keep forgetting to upgrade a third rifleman defender on my, you know, my old account. But yeah, pretty simple strategy. You could use any weapon, I just choose to use bundle buses. You know, they're simple, they're spammable, and they're just great. And we're going to be doing some wall launchers and 4 launchers. But I'm just going to, of course, set up everything real quick, and then I'll get into, of course, the straps. So for right here, because there's actually kind of like a weird terrain thing, like a wall here, you don't want to do wall launchers. It's best if you do something like a light trap or a sound trap, because if you use a wall launcher, you're just shoving enemies not even a tile away, so you actually get really bad value for using a wall launcher there. So I'm just going to use a sound wall. It synergizes a lot better with 4 launchers than it does with white trap. And yeah, pretty much we're going to be having alternating wall and 4 launchers. And also, please do not just have the same perks, you know, on your 4 as well as your wall launchers, because they're just going to have the same reset time. So these 4 launchers I'm using with 1 reload is actually more optimal to use than having 2 reloads, because they're just going to be activating at the same time all the time, and they're just going to be accomplishing the same thing. So you don't want that ever. Of course, we're going to be doing ramps. Pretty straightforward. I'm also putting down some ceilings over the ramps, so if we do get flingers, you know, they don't drop into like weird spots and have to upgrade everything. Which is also why I'm putting up ramps that lead up to where the defenders are. Just in case we do get those flingers. Don't want to have any issues whatsoever with them. And then I also like to just fully max out everything, including the fences in case you get some lobbers that do target, you know, whatever they feel like targeting. And we're also going to be adding some tire traps with 2 reloads. These could be any power level. Doesn't matter as long as they're 2-star. If not higher, you have both reload perks. And we're basically just going to be putting them 1 tile out away from the 4 launchers. And I'm kind of like debating if I want to put it higher. I guess it doesn't really matter, you know. But yeah, pretty much just like 1 tile out. So I'll just do that real quick. I guess another quick tip too is make sure your back is facing away from the objective, because enemies will stagger to where your back is facing when you do place down your tires as well as your freeze fours, because they do have directional placement. And we'll also be putting anti-airs in sort of a circle-y shape. So basically, one anti-air on every corner as well as side of the shelter in case you get lobbers that do like to just move around, or spoilers too. So this helps just cover pretty much just everything. And also, last but not least, have some tar pits ready, just in case you do get a smasher wave. You got those ready to go, and you could drop them down when smashers do show up.
This shelter has been damaged pretty severely.
Also, real quick, I'm just going to cut the gameplay until the actual attack starts, or I find something interesting to showcase the weapon off of. So, I guess I'll see you in a second, Fen. So here's a small horde of enemies, and yeah, the weapon pretty much just deletes them. Even with health burst, they just die pretty easily. The blasters, they do die after a couple of slashes, and I guess crits too. And yeah, weapon's pretty strong if it's able to demolish blasters with ease. And there goes another one right there. And here's some huskies as well too. I didn't even know these guys were here, but yeah, they die pretty easily too. And of course the pitchers, you know, like we all know, pitchers are ridiculously tanky enemies, so let me just cut until right now. So we got the survivor right here. And yeah, pretty good crowd damage. It is, of course, you know, an explosion, so I should hope it should be good when it comes to crowd damage. But yeah, shreds huskies, basic enemies, insta-kills nurses, which is always great, too. Also a good counter to shooters as well, because of the explosion. You can just automatically hit them without really putting in any effort to actually kill them. So really good weapon when it comes to countering shooters too, which is really nice. It's not the best, I guess, against bride huskies if they do, you know, aggro onto you. But, you know, pretty solid damage. And that's a free survivor right there. Give me that. And here we have the main attack. There was a husk patrol right there, that's why it's killing something. But yeah, we got a spoiler wave. And this wave, if you get it, it's pretty much just a good game already. Like, you know, there's nothing that they can really do. All of the enemies that show up in this wave are all assassins, so they target you, not the objective. The only enemies that actually target the objective are the spoilers themselves, so pretty much a free wave if you ever do get it in Repair the Shelter. But yeah, shredding down blasters pretty easily. Same with these spoilers. They don't even get a chance to try and blow themselves up. And it's still pretty good weapon too against all of the mist monsters. This is like a small horde of enemies. I don't really know where all of these guys came from. I guess just random sleeping husks. But yeah, pretty good weapon against all of that. Here we have the boss, and yeah, the weapon can easily kill him, doing pretty good damage to him with just a, you know, blatantly underpowered storm blade. Already got like a quarter of his health done, which is pretty good if you ask me, honestly. Bit of a shame that I wasn't able to find any smashers though in this attack, but I guess beating up this guy will do, honestly, why not? yeah, just like that, with a tier 3 Stormblade, we killed the mini-boss pretty easily. Surprised he didn't despawn, but honestly, we take those, honestly, out here. I always hate it when the mini-bosses despawn just about your, you know, you're just about to kill them. Always kind of really sucks, honestly. But yeah, I mean, the rest of the wave is pretty much just really simple. I mean, if I was able to spend basically around, you know, a minute and a bit just not even defending the base and just killing the boss, and I would say we're pretty much good for the rest of the game, I would say. And that's pretty much game. Probably overstrapped a bit for this one, but at least I know for next time if I do end up, for some reason, playing a Repair the Shelter again before the update. But yeah, other than that, great weapon, honestly. I tried it out in co-op games before the update that screwed over ramping for 160s, and it was very good. It wasn't the best for smashers, but it would kill them over time, so when they do fix the ramping, it should be a great weapon to use if you're playing co-op. And yeah, honestly, I really suggest using this weapon. This is a extremely good budget weapon. If you are low on Break 4 or Sunbeam, it's a great option to use. It's very fun, you get to jump around everywhere. You're very tanky too. But other than that, hope you enjoyed the video, and I guess see ya.